Good evening everybody, welcome to Grimgrams, and this is my first review. My New Year's resolution is to actually do some reviews, and as a big thank you to my subscribers. I don't understand why you guys do subscribe to me without me putting anything out, but thank you very much. And I promise this year I am going to produce something. Starting with this one, part one of my two-part Moonbase 2 Best Worst Toy of the Year reviews. I have to say, first off the bat, I fully agree with the Moonbase 2 podcast about these two toys that I'll be reviewing being the worst and the best. And here we have, as you can see, Universe Target Master Cyclonus with Nightstick, which was voted Best Toy of the Year. And I don't think many people could actually argue against this. Unfortunately, the Universe version was actually released in 2008, December 2008 in the States. I know because I was there and I got him. So he got his official release December 2008 in the US of A. But the Henke version was released in 2009, so he can count as the best toy of 2009. I don't own the Henke version as yet. I hope to in the future because I do need and his Armada to stand next to my Cyclonus. But the mold's the same, different paint applications, as you well know. Henke version is a much lighter purple, almost a lilac-y pink, whereas this guy is the much darker version. I know Mr. Shalou said that he has both versions and neither colour scheme really does it for him. I don't own the Henke one, as I say, but this one for me is a beautiful rendition of Cyclonus, a beautiful update of the 1986 Lieutenant to Galvatron. So let's have a closer look at him. Get rid of a little nightstick. The detailing, as you can see, is just absolutely superb. All round, a glorious glowing red cockpit. Underneath, there isn't too much significant sign of what's going where, who's going to go where. It's a fairly competent mode. There are some minor disappointments, as we can see. There is actually gappage through the front of the jet. And these legs, the rear part of the jet, the part that makes up the legs, I don't know, there is just something about them that doesn't fit together. They almost seem like the idea, they wanted the transformation for the legs without making it fit the jet mode. It was just something lacking. I completely forgive the figure for it because it is a fantastic robot, and the jet is a perfect representation of the original toy. But you just feel that with a little bit more care and, I don't know, maybe I've mistransformed him. I'm sure someone will help me out on that in the comments box, but all the times I've transformed him, I've never been able to get him past that stage, and when I had a look at one new in box, it was in that stage, and it just seems very lazy from Hasbro to do that. Also a slight disappointment on the top of the jet, as you can see around here, are screw holes, whereas on the underside, perfectly clear. And I know it becomes apparent why that is in his robot mode. That's for the front of his robot mode. But again, a little bit of filler wouldn't have gone amiss. Little detailing that I love, which I only picked up on the recent repaint release, or repaint showing of Shattered Glass Cyclonus, which will be the club exclusive figure, the second club exclusive figure after Punch Counter Punch for 2010, is these lovely little gun barrels on the side of the jet. It's just, the attention to detail on him is immense. And his little partner, Nightstick. What can you say about Nightstick? Well, he's a target master. He's huge. Ooh, face. You can see his face. I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up. No, can't see his face. He's a standard target master, just with a bit of articulation. Really, it's lovely to see a great new target master of mould, and there's some lovely detailing on the underside of the gun. But again, we have the original G1 target master problem. Oh, what a sleek, iconic, aerodynamic jet. Let's stick a bloody great gun on the top of it. That's never going to fly. That's never going to fly. And there are places where you feel they could have underslung him if they'd have really thought about it, if they'd have made that little bit of extra effort. You know, there are places. But in a highly successful mould, possibly not the best alternate mould of the year for me. I'd say that goes to... Actually, there's a few, but Animated Ultra Magnus jumps to mind straight away for that. But let's have a little look at these guys' robots. And here we have Cyclonus and Nightstick in their robot modes. As you can see, the scale is very good between the two. Nightstick in gun mode actually looks quite large against the jet. You know, defeats the possibly Nebulon-sized companion sitting inside his cockpit, which was depicted in the Marvel comics every now and again. But overall, the scale is very good between the two. Let's move the little man to a side for a minute, because let's be fair, he's not the highlight of this, and come to Cyclonus. Now, if you wanted a better representation of this guy, you could not have found it. He is glorious. He is absolutely spot on. Dimensions, proportions, absolutely perfect. He looks menacing, he looks mean, he has some awesome light piping, as you can see. He's just perfect. The colours blend together well. He is an excellent representation of his G1 character, showing elements of it from the knee pads to the stomach area, also replicated in Galvatron. And just all over, he works. Everything works. From the little fold-away part of the fins, which, you know, this is a better representation of Cyclonus than the G1 figure could ever be considered. This is how the toy should have been, or if we wish could have been, when we were kids. This is a fantastic, fantastic robot mode, and one that I keep coming back to look at and enjoy, and just show off what the 25th anniversary line actually does mean to the Transformers fans worldwide. Nightstick is a target master with a little bit more articulation still. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just, you know, he's fine. But he doesn't do anything. You know, he's got articulation in his arms, and that's it. He's no real different from the original target master, just slightly bigger, slightly nicer, better quality, not liable to break, get lost as much maybe. But he does have some redeeming features. As in, he is a target master, and he will be the basis for other target masters, hopefully in the future. I'm currently working on one at the moment. Right, but back onto the more important part of these guys. And a downside. The downside of this figure, as I see it, is such a little one, but is slightly annoying. As you can see, hole, no hole. Hole, no hole. Nightstick can only go in one hand, which does limit the posability of the figure on the whole, I'm afraid. He still, I mean, he looks glorious. He is just perfect Cyclonus mould, and I do adore what they have done with him. I mean, if that is the worst I can pick out of the figure, that you can see some screws in vehicle mode, and you can only put the target master character in one hand in robot mode, it kind of goes to show how good a figure this was, and is a highlight to anyone's collection. I would, you know, strongly recommend picking him up. I think I've made that perfectly clear that you need this guy in your collection. Unfortunately, nowadays, as you can imagine, he is an exceptionally hard figure to pick up due to the demand for him. He wasn't well distributed in the UK or in the US, really. You know, 1 mint in box now, if you get him for under 20 quid, you're doing well. A Henke one, I haven't seen below 30 since its original release. So good luck shopping. So it's King Grimlock with Universe Cyclonus. Then bye for now.